This part in the echo experiment is difficult to discuss. And the reason is due to the filters that people have when dealing with this type of magic. Hence why I had to explain filters. And it's important to have them. Everybody has their own unique one, their own way of having a screen of protection that sifts through all of the data and information that they receive. They have to have some way of organizing the big rocks from the small rocks, if you will. And echo works the same way, but we have to speak into the cave, if you will, in order to receive a response, right? So we're using words instead of filters. So this one is built with both force and with power, unlike the Lash factor experiment, which was built in power, and the Trinity experiments were built with force. And silence is an aspect, or silence, right, is an aspect that is brought forth into the echo experiment from the Trinity experiment. So that is part of the connection that we are utilizing here in this echo experiment. And then on the other end, on the Lash factor, we are organizing power. And how our connection to power is that pause that we discussed between breath. Have you even considered that mode in which you have with breathing? You breathe in, you breathe out. But what is your relationship to the pause, the in-between? This is how the experiment is designed, is to accumulate, harvest, appreciate this aspect of yourself. And this is what the Lash factor teaches. When we cast words out, they can be recorded, or others in time may rewind and repeat. We have access to this technology, this type of magic, through repetitiveness, right? And that pause becomes a moment in which we have choice to move about, where our own inertia is the wind in our sails. And a practical explanation of part of this technology of rewind, retreat, repeat. These are important. And try to filter this information in a way that is not projective in nature, right? Because we don't want aggression. We talked about this. So when I give you this example, please try and find its value and not assume because of what you may have heard about this type of technology. I like to offer a suggestion to just try and keep an open mind, and listening becomes the quality in which you receive as a reward in abundance for echo. People choose certain words in every given situation. they may not consciously understand why the words come out in the combinations in which they do until they rewind and repeat. And when I say rewind, I am discussing a technology that's similar to what we would commonly call, in today's parlance, reverse speech.
No matter where you go, there you are.
Is it not possible to record the sound of your own voice singing into a microphone? Or is it not possible for you to record your family performing on stage in some way? And then that reality can be replayed through a perspective in detail and clarity. So the echo is not reverberating. You are now in tune. And you can relive a moment, if you will, in a very simple and, mathematically it's not full reality, but it is memory, a gift. But it opens the imagination to accepting a reality that is in harmony. Things are possible. When they recorded for the first time sound and then played it back, that was a important moment in history, if you will. But again, this has probably happened many times and it will continually happen. This is part of echo. It's repeatable. If you see it today in the world, it exists in some way, in some form. The elements are in operation. So the technology, when you listen to somebody, you can actually reverse their speech, and it will share a meaning actually behind the words they chose to use. And it's not difficult to do. You can actually do this if you listen carefully. Reverse the words they use. So, in conclusion, with the echo experiment, the discovery is about the universe, which is a combination of correspondence between things outside and things inside, where it's about the spirit of relationships. So it would appear that the relationships in this type of magic would be similar to the extremes. And those extremes actually have a balanced point. But that balanced point in this type of magic actually has the ability to move around within the extremes that it understands and participates within. So you can move your position and angle because there is a time delay between the originating source or the sound itself and then the return of that sound. There is time delay, so you have a movement option, an action in which you can do within that framework. And then when it returns, it's like you can build something and put it there if you like. And when you do that, it's not always exactly in the middle of the extremes, like a teeter-totter. It's actually, it could be anywhere along those lines. It could be all the way on one side of the extreme or all the way on the other side of the extreme. And you have the choice to do that. And the ability to move that balanced point in the now, in the moment, within the extremes, is you can apply your sixth sense, which is your sense of humor.
Why are you always smiling?
Because
it's all so fucking hysterical.